impacts are going to be.
Joaquin could dump 15 inches of rain in the Bahamas. The Vatican has not confirmed or denied it, but her lawyer says Kim Davis, who went to jail for not issuing same-sex marriage licenses, met with Pope Francis last week.
The Pope reached out his hands. He asked Kim Davis to pray for him. She took his hands, and she said she would pray for him, that she also asked that he pray for her. He thanked her for her courage.
Attorney Matt Staver says the meeting took place at the Vatican Embassy in Washington. The Russian parliament has approved sending troops to Syria. CBS's Vicky Barker's live with the latest from the foreign desk.
Russia's constitution states that Russia's parliament must approve any use of force abroad. And a little while ago, meeting behind closed doors, it did just that, voting unanimously to let Vladimir Putin deploy troops to Syria. A spokesman insists that will not mean boots on the ground, but airstrikes to support President Assad's battle against ISIS forces. The U.S. and the Israelis have already consulted Moscow about avoiding any inadvertent mid-air clashes. Frank?
A clerical mistake allowed a convicted killer out of prison in Louisiana. Benjuel Johnson's mother, Francel, hopes he'll turn himself in.
But if I knew where my child was, I'd go get him. I'd have someone to bring him to me. Because I definitely don't want to see them kill my child.
Former Health Secretary Donna Shalala, now the Clinton Foundation CEO, suffered a stroke last night. The Clintons say initial reports on Shalala's condition were encouraging. S&P futures are up 23 points ahead of the opening. This is CBS News.
Flu season starts with all kinds of symptoms. At Walmart, we can help you be prepared before they show up with products like Mucinex to help relieve chest congestion and Delsum to help silence coughs for 12 hours. You'll also want to be ready with Sudafed PE to relieve sinus congestion and pressure, and Motrin for body aches and to reduce fever. So don't wait until the symptoms have already started. Be prepared for flu season this year. Stock up on everything you need at Walmart.
Use all products as directed.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. Call InventHelp today.
Call 1-800-358-7816. That's 1-800-358-7816.
Hi, it's Dan Gaffney for Halpern Eye, focused on your quality of life through vision. Locations throughout Delaware and the newest in Georgetown with comprehensive eye exams, 24-hour emergency eye care, pediatric eye care, contact lenses, designer eyewear. They're the leader in that. Right now, starting actually tomorrow and through the end of October, Halpern Eye Care has a deal where you'll save 30% off a complete pair of glasses. Starts tomorrow, 30% off frames and lenses at all Halpern Eye locations. Get set. You don't need an eye exam if you have an outside prescription. They accept that at Halpern. And there's still time to save with their back-to-school special as well. A complete pair of glasses, only $69, or get 2 complete pairs for $89, and that's single vision, polycarbonate lens, scratch-resistant coating, UV protection, select frames, good stuff. And that's Halpern Eye. Now, you want to call them if you have any questions, or just stop by one of their great locations in the area. The website is halperneye.com or 1-800-734-2010, 1-800-734-2010. Now it's time for a local news update brought to you by Apple Electric. Guaranteed reliable, 645-5105.
Thank you, Dan. Delaware 105.9 News Time, 7:05. A bald eagle is hit by a car in Newcastle County. Delaware Fish and Wildlife Natural Resources Police say they were dispatched on Tuesday for reports of an injured bald eagle near Boyd's Corner. The officers determined that the eagle had been struck by a car near Boyd's Corner in Route 13. The eagle was temporarily transported to Middletown Veterinary Hospital and was then taken to the Tri-State Bird Rescue and Research Center for some rehabilitation. That eagle going to be okay, I'm told. Authorities are investigating the death of a woman whose body was discovered in the water off the shore of a southern New Jersey beach. State and local police responding to the Ocean City Beach. Again, this is Jersey at 57th Street about 3:30 Tuesday afternoon, where a body had been recovered. Police say the woman appeared to be between 35 and 50 years old. They say there were no signs of trauma. Police are currently working to determine that woman's identity. In other news this morning, a reminder for property owners in Sussex County. Today is the due date to pay your property taxes. County Administrator Todd Lawson reminding property owners about the different methods of payments during Tuesday's council meeting in Georgetown.
A number of payment options are available for the public's convenience. A tutorial explaining how to view account information and make payments is available on the county's website. Sussex County accepts tax payments by cash, check, money order, and debit or credit cards.
If payment is mailed, it has to be postmarked on the due date, which is today. Lawson says any payment made after today, the due date, will be penalized. A link to the county's website is available on our website at Delaware105.9.com. Wilmington Education Improvement Commission continuing its town hall series on Tuesday. The WEIC held their 5th town hall and still have plenty more to host before they go before the State Board of Education with a plan to redistrict schools within the city of Wilmington. Dan Rich, the policy advisor for the commission, says slowly but surely they're starting to fill in the framework of that plan.
I actually think people are identifying recurring themes. I think the committees are focusing in on some of the core issues.
Rich says some of the issues parents keep bringing up are funding and the logistics of redistricting. The commission has until the end of this year to develop and then present their plan to the State Board of Education. Delaware 105.9 News Time is 7:08.
Honey, I'd really like to add a few recessed lights to the living room and a ceiling fan on the porch. I love our new hot tub. Who can we call to hook it up?
They're calling for another nasty winter. Do you think we should install a generator? Who do we call?
Call Apple Electric at 302-645-5105. Their electrical estimator will meet with you at no cost to discuss your options and present you with a professional proposal. Call Apple Electric now at 302-645-5105 for your free estimate. Apple Electric, 645-5105.
We start on the high school scoreboard from yesterday. In field hockey, Delmar remains unbeaten with a 2-1 win over Dover. Jamie Troubadour scored a pair of goals as Polytech moves to 5-0, beating Indian River 3-0. Cape rolls over Laurel 12-0. CR beats Smyrna 3-1. Sussex Tech beat Lake Forest 2-1, and Woodbridge cruises over Central 8-0. In boys soccer, Cape moves to 7-0 with a 2-1 win over Indian River. Chris McPoyle nets a hat trick for CR as they beat Delmar 9-1. Derek Bogan scored a pair for Milford, leading them past Dover 4-1, and Sussex Tech shut out Seaford 5-0. Wesley College quarterback Joe Callahan was named to the D3Football.com Team of the Week yesterday. Callahan threw for 414 yards and 3 touchdowns and ran in 3 scores as the Wolverines beat North Central on Saturday 50-49. And in Major League Baseball last night, the O's and Blue Jays were rained out. They'll play a doubleheader today. The Phillies beat the Mets 4-3, and the Nats lost in Atlanta 2-1. That's Schofield on Sports on Delaware 105.9.
Well, not the prettiest of mornings out there weather-wise across Delmarva, according to meteorologist Steve Williams. Today it's going to be mostly cloudy, very humid, occasional rain, a high of 78. Lots of rain during the overnight already. Tonight, cloudy with more rain, an overnight low of 61. On Thursday, windy and cooler, but still rainy. A high tomorrow is 64. 75 degrees right now in Middletown, 75 as well in downtown Milford. I'm Kelly Steele in the Delaware 105.9 newsroom. More of the Dan Gaffney Show coming up on Delaware 105.9.
We are streaming the program, video streaming on YouTube. If you search the Dan Gaffney Show, it's a live event. We have 3 cameras set up here. Thank you, Colin Walls, and catchitlive.com. Streaming on YouTube. Very fun. Coming up this morning, the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to try something different. We're going to try something called the Advice Hour. The Advice Hour, where I ask you to give advice on anything you think you're qualified to give advice on. Could be something big. It could be you've been successful in business or successful in life financially or successful raising a family, and you've learned something, some advice. You want to impart that advice. It could be something small. You know how to cook a mean apple pie, and you got a little advice on how to make it good. Could be anything. Anything that comes to your mind. It could be a particular endeavor you're good at, or a bigger life question. It could be because you are a failure at something. I've learned a lot of life lessons from watching people who have failed at certain things or have had problems. The example that comes to mind, I can't breathe. I know I'm dying. Please don't start smoking like I did. People dying give me that advice when I was younger. I'm glad they did. They were not successful in maintaining their health. They died early because of smoking, but they gave good advice. So we'll get into that in an hour. 8 o'clock, we're going to try the advice hour. It's where you give advice. We're going to see how that goes. Just wanted to promote that. It's a new themed hour. Once in a while, we do a theme hour. We try it. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, you'll call. 839-1059. Last night, Georgia executed a woman for murder. A state execution. First woman executed in that state in 70 years. It's rare for a woman to be on death row. Even more rare for one to be put to death. It happened last night. 47-year-old woman, Kelly Renee Gissendaner, was put to death for her role in the murder of her husband. Notice I say her role in the murder of the husband. What happened was she had a lover while she was married to Douglas Gissendaner. She encouraged her lover to kill the husband. The lover, Gregory Owen, stabbed her husband to death. Carried out her wishes. I'll do it for you, honey. Stabbed the man to death. They both were charged with murder. Here's the interesting thing. She was put to death last night. She's been on death row, and she was executed by the state. He, the lover, who actually did the stabbing, is in jail serving a life sentence, eligible for parole in 2022. Is this justice? In your opinion, is this just? I should say. 839-1059, 839-1059. And as I was trying to explain, we know how we got here. It's two separate trials, two separate juries. She was offered a plea deal. She didn't take it. Outcome? Capital punishment. He, copped a plea, took a plea, whatever, different lawyers, everything else. Life in prison. That's how it works. That's the process of how we got to this point. But here we are yesterday, prior to executing this woman, and we're looking at this case. And we're saying, hey, we are going to kill her tonight, while the murderer, stabber guy, okay, he's going to live and he's up for parole. Could you honestly say it's a just thing to kill this woman last night? That's my question. 839-1059, 839-1059. What do you think about that? What do you think? Someone pointed out, a friend of mine pointed out during the news that when we were taking calls on this in the last hour, the people that were against it called it the justice system. The people that were for it called it the judicial system. A little interesting word there. Word choices. That was just a side note. We welcome you to the program. This is the Dan Gaffney Show. My number, 839-1059. Just spending a minute on one of the top national stories this morning. We're also tracking Tropical Storm Joaquin and how it's going to be affecting our weather. Stay tuned for that this morning. And let's go to Ivory Tony in Bethany is next on Delaware 105.9. Tony, good morning.
And hi.
Hi.
I'll tell you, most of the time I'm in favor of the death penalty. But in this case, from what I understand, she's been kind of a model prisoner and done some good in prison for years and years. I don't see the sense. I think they could have given her a break in this case.
You would have stayed the execution had you been a judge on a panel somewhere, right?
Yeah, I don't.
Because this thing, in the final hours before her murder, her execution this morning at 12:22 a.m. This went through the courts and went through state courts, federal, blah, blah, all the way to the Supreme Court. Everybody said no, kill her.
I was going to follow up with that. She proved it on her deathbed, because she didn't say that she wasn't guilty. She apologized for everything.
She called the man she killed.
Just what it sounds like a person who'd changed their life would do. So I think they made a mistake.
That's not what you want to hear when you're talking death. I think they made a mistake.
Yeah, I think they made a mistake. They could have let her off in this case, since she'd been such a model prisoner. That's the idea when you try to redeem people, and she apparently had done that. So what's the point? I mean, you got some really, really serial killers and really evil people. They deserve it, but I think in her case, she could have been cut a break.
Tony and Bethany, thanks for the call. And let's see what Phil in Bridgeville wants to say about this interesting story. Hello, Phil.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm wonderful, thanks.
Yeah, I think she deserved what she got. In my opinion, what she did was worse than the guy who stabbed her, because the guy who stabbed her is just some stranger, and
no, it was her lover. While she was married, it's her lover in a love triangle who has a vested interest, right? A vested interest in getting rid of this guy who's in the way.
No, but I'm saying his relationship to the man was that of a love, basically not a stranger, not a friend. And her relationship was, she has a contract with this guy, a marriage contract, that she's supposed to watch his back, look out for him. He's supposed to be the number one. He's supposed to be able to trust her, and she's plotting his demise. I think what she did is worse.
Really? Worse than the guy who took a knife and plunged it into his body till he bled to death?
Yeah, because that guy wouldn't have plunged that knife into his body if she hadn't orchestrated it.
Yeah, encouraged him,
they would have
they
just
say.
been two guys on the street, and, hey, they might have even been friends or something, or, I mean, she orchestrated it. She had
to you,
that situation wouldn't have happened.
Right, so to you, this is just this crafty woman who did not stab her husband to death because she orchestrated it needs to die. The poor dumb dude who had no relationship, he gets to live.
No, he probably should die too, but he just made a better deal. Maybe he should have read Trump's book, The Art of the Deal, or something. He just made a better deal.
Right. Thanks for the call, Phil.
All right.
Right. What do you think about what Phil said there? Bonnie, is Phil right that she actually deserves to be killed even more than the guy? What do you think, Bonnie?
Absolutely. It was justified.
Mm-hmm. Is it just that he lives?
Man, listen. Here's the deal. Okay, she probably seduced him. She probably says, "Hey, if you do this for me, I'll give you some of the insurance money." And I thought this over. She's a nutcase, because you'll never get insurance money if you kill a person.
Right.
Now, will you?
But that's why she had the other guy do it. That's why she encouraged the man to do it.
Right.
Do you think he did it against his will?
I don't know.
Is it possible he did it? Really?
But I wouldn't hold him in jail. I would give him the lethal injection too. Yeah. I would not let him.
Well, they're not going to do that. They're going to. He's eligible for parole.
I don't think so. You might be eligible for parole, but you might not get there.
Death penalty is off the table for him. It's a life sentence. He's already been served. Okay, years ago. This happened in 1997.
Well, I think it's a waste of money to keep it dragging out 20, 30 years. She sat in there, and she realized what she did, and she had a family, and I feel sorry for them children, and she got what she deserved.
Let me ask you something, Bonnie. Can women be so crafty and conniving to exert this Svengali-like control over a man and make him do things against his will?
Some has. I don't doubt it, but some has.
Yeah.
But I'm not in that type of category. It's mean, it's wrong. You shouldn't go out and do bad, because when you do bad, you're going to suffer the consequences either now or later in life.
Thank you, Bonnie.
It's got to be good, Dan. Be good.
Thanks for the call, 839-1059. Good to hear Bonnie earlier this morning. Normally a 9 o'clock hour caller, 721 on the Dan Gaffney program, Wednesday morning, September 3rd. Good to have you here every Monday through Friday, 5:30 to 10. That's all we ask, right? All we ask is that you tell people 5:30 to 10. That's all we ask here on the Dan Gaffney Show, 839-1059. Well, then we ask you to stay 10 to 3 and then 3 to 7, too. I mean, we ask you to listen all day, but in terms of this program, you got it. Hey, before we break, let me talk to Rick down in Fenwick. Rick, are you competing, or how did you do in the Special Olympics?
I did it yesterday. I'm coming second place in silver medal.
Silver medalist in what sport? Bowling?
In golf.
Oh, in golf. Ladies and gentlemen, silver medal Special Olympian Rick in Fenwick. Congratulations, Rick.
Thank you.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Ryan is here in Felton. Hello, Ryan.
Hey, how's it going?
Well.
I just want to point out that these are two totally different crimes. He committed murder. They offered him a plea. He took it. She did a contract killing. That's totally different. They offered her a plea, and she didn't take it.
That's right.
They offered them the same thing, as equal justice, and she didn't take it. So she rolled the dice. They told her it was going to be a death penalty case. She rolled the dice and lost.
Yeah. So we know this, right? We know we know how we got here, and I have no disagreement with that. But now that we know, Rick, hold on. Now that we know, Ryan, now that we know how we got there, okay, we have the benefit of hindsight, and we have the benefit of reality. You got two people here. Is this just what is currently happening, that the government kills her and the other guy is up for parole? He will never face the death penalty.
Well, they offered her a plea, and she didn't take it.
We know.
They offered
is it just? Is the outcome just?
Yeah, don't forget, she got to see her kids for another 20 years.
Is the outcome just?
It's absolutely just. She manipulated the situation, got a guy to wipe her husband out for her. The guy just did it probably because she offered him something.
Right. You think, and that's just to you. That's fine.
Right? I think she manipulated the situation to the point where the hatred was so bad that it's a totally different crime.
I understand. Listen, a lot of people feel this way. A lot of people have, yes, stick it to the woman. It's okay that the guy is on, you're not going to die. Hey, he just stabbed the guy to death. She manipulated, man. She is a manipulator, though. Glad we offed that be. You know, that's kind of the attitude that I'm hearing from some of you guys. My attitude, but it's what I'm hearing. A lot of you guys are really, really feeling this is the right thing. That's fine. We're talking to you, Gene. Hello, Gene.
Hey, Dan, I don't think it was just. I think they should have been killed. I think if you kill somebody, you'd be killed. If you steal something, you get your hand cut off. If you look at pornography, you get your eyeballs taken out. Wait a minute, hold on a second, Dan. I'm getting confused with Sharia law. I'm only kidding.
I know.
I think they both should have been taken out. You know, he's just as guilty as she is.
Right, but if you're not going to take him out, okay, which we've decided we're not going to do you still kill her anyway, or do you say, look, we can't take you out?
Yeah, I think she's the one initiated it. She's the one that perpetrated the crime. I think the whole thing with a lot of times with, I don't care if it's robbery or murder, the word intent. You know, if you have the intent to do it and you follow through, premeditate it, you plan it, you think it, not in your head, but in your heart, the whole time. Hey, let's face it. Somebody's got to be either nuts to kill somebody, or somebody's got to be really, really, they hate them. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I had a situation when I was younger. We used to organize card games, and this guy was sitting there one night, and he's always grumbling about his wife this and his wife that. And he didn't know one of the guys playing cards there was he was a state trooper.
Uh-huh.
And he said, I'd pay $20,000 for somebody that take her out. And then he kept on saying it. Like every other week, he'd bring it up.
Right.
And so anyway, they did a sting on him. And he actually got convicted. I mean, He planned it with the police. I mean, I don't want to say the police set him up.
Well, they catch a lot of these people looking to hire a hitman or something get caught that way because they do what that guy just did. They mouth off at a bar over and over, and people get tired of hearing it, and they go, "Look, let's get this guy. He has murder in his heart. Let's get him." Right, is what they say.
I just look at the news with all these. I don't know why they call them immigrants. My grandparents were immigrants. Your grandparents are great grandparents. Everybody in America came from somewhere, unless you're a native-born American Indian. They were immigrants, and they came here, and an immigrant to me isn't somebody, it might be a political, have a political, if you want to call them a political immigrant, I don't know, but they're not seeking asylum. And I just sit here and I look at these people coming over, these Muslims, and they're bringing a whole different lifestyle and agenda, and especially that Sharia law. That really bothers me when I hear about, we don't have it here in the United States. I don't want to say yet. I hope we never have it.
Right. Gene.
We have it over in foreign countries.
Gene from Cedar Creek, thank you so much for the call. We need to take a break. A multi-estate sale coming up. More of your phone calls on the way. 8 o'clock hour, the advice hour. You give advice. Life, whatever advice. I'll explain coming up. Hope you'll listen and call. And more with you in a moment, including local news. And again, like I said, a multi-estate sale in Rehoboth this weekend. Butch Emmett's got some stuff, man, and we'll tell you about that next.
One call, Red does it all. Peninsula wants to thank you for singing our praises. Since March, customers have posted more than 300 Perfect 10 reviews online, and we couldn't be more proud. If you have a plumbing problem, you want someone right away to take care of it. That's what we do at Peninsula. From old pipe repairs to new construction, if it concerns water, it concerns us. Get upfront pricing, work by highly trained master plumbers, work guaranteed for a full year, all by a locally owned family-run business since 1935.
One call, Red does it all.
Schedule your whole home winterization for as low as $250 today.
One call, Red does it all.
Plumbing, heating, air conditioning, propane gas logs and fireplaces, oil delivery and trash pickup, residential or commercial. It's just one call to Peninsula. Go to callrednow.com. That's callrednow.com, and we'll have you singing our praises too.
One call, Red does it all.
Are you looking to buy a new mattress and want to know you're getting the best deal at a store that will stand behind their product? Look no further. Hi, I'm Chris Adams, owner of Mattress Peddlers, your local family-owned Serta and Kingsdown mattress retailer. We have 27 floor models to try with mattress sets starting at $349. Two-sided mattresses, futons, bunk beds, headboards, waterbed parts and accessories, and free same-day local delivery. Visit our website, mattresspeddlers.com, or stop in today on Route 24 in Peddlers Village and sleep on a better bed tonight.
Kelly Steele, local news. Good morning.
Good morning, Dan. Sussex County residents speak in favor and against Sun Behavioral Health's application for a psychiatric hospital in Georgetown. Mostly everyone agreed at a public hearing last night that a mental health facility is needed in Sussex. The public record is now closed, and the Delaware Health Resources Board will make a decision on that facility that would be located across from Del Tech in Georgetown. Tropical storm Joaquin strengthening in the Atlantic. It is expected to become a hurricane today. National Hurricane Center says the storm is currently centered about 360 miles east of the northwestern Bahamas. It has maximum sustained winds of 70 miles per hour. CBS News covers the nation and the world next. Delaware 105.9 news time on this rainy Wednesday morning, 7:31.
CBS News Update. The first execution of a woman in Georgia in 70 years did take place. Kelly Gissendaner died early this morning. Correspondent Mark Strassman tells CBS this morning.
After more than 5 hours of delays, the 47-year-old who spent 18 years in prison for plotting the murder of her husband was given a lethal injection.
The Vatican tried to intercede.
Earlier in the day, a letter on behalf of Pope Francis was presented to the Georgia Board of Pardons and Paroles, asking them to stop Gissendaner's execution.
Atlanta Journal-Constitution reporter Rhonda Cook was a witness to the execution.
She was singing Amazing Grace. She sang right up until she could no longer keep her eyes open.
Why did Gissendaner die when the other man involved in this crime did not? Mark Strassman.
Back in 1997, her then-boyfriend, Greg Owen, the man who carried out the murder, took a deal from prosecutors to testify against Gissendaner. He was sentenced to life in prison and is still eligible for parole in 2022.
CBS News Update. I'm Dave Barrett.
Halpern Eye Care is focused on exceptional patient care with locations throughout Delaware, including the newest in Georgetown. Halpern Eye Care specializes in comprehensive eye exams, medical and pediatric eye care, contact lenses, and they're the leader in designer eyewear with brands like Crocs, Nike, Guess, Converse, and many more. Halpern Eye Care performs the highest quality, most technologically advanced eye exams and ensures that personal attention is given to each patient. Get your children ready for back to school at Halpern Eye Care. Get a complete pair of glasses for only $69, 2 for $89, or free lenses when you buy any designer brand package. Don't neglect the health of your child's eyes as they start school this year. Schedule your children's back-to-school eye exam today by calling 1-800-734-2010 or go online, halperneye.com. See office for complete details. May not be combined with any other discounts or insurance and must be 21 years of age or younger. Expires 10/31/15. Butch Emmert is on the live line. This is interesting. He's got one of his great multi-estate sales this Sunday. Butch Emmert, good morning.
Good morning, Dan. How are you?
Doing great. I know you're busy getting the convention center prepped, and it's going to be all filled with items this Sunday morning.
When I say filled, Dan, I mean filled. Every room, every back room, we have it all. And this is just a small sampling. We have antique and modern furniture, Stickley furniture. We have sterling, bronzes, crystal, silver, estate jewelry, costume jewelry, glassware, oriental rugs, wicker, rare books, including art books, rare postcards, including antique postcards. We have a gun collection. We have original and American and Delaware art by Schroeder, Jack Lewis, Edmund Darch Lewis, Frank Schoonover, Eugenia Eckford Rhodes, Marjorie Pyle, Theodora Kane, Ann Pottinger, R.G. Bender, Emil Hess, Chaim Gross, Tricia Higgins Hurt, Charles Paul Group. It goes on and on. James Doney, Fairfield Porter. We have a really nice Jeep. We have an estate vehicle, a living estate vehicle from Henlope and Acres. Real nice Jeep with low mileage. And we have Delaware, 3-digit tag 147. Anything that could be in a good estate is in the sale and many times over, so don't miss it. This Sunday, October 4th at 9:30 a.m. Now you can get on EmmertAuction.com or AuctionZip.com to see full-color photographs, terms of sales, and details. I don't care what the weather is, Dan. It's calling for bad weather. Come inside the convention center. I guarantee you'll be entertained and get some great bargains.
I think it's going to be fantastic. Thank you, Butch.
Have a good one, Dan.
You too. Delaware 105.9, the Dan Gaffney program. We're going to try something this morning. I have no idea if it'll work. But once in a while, we do a theme hour, and so at 8 o'clock today, we're going to try something, because I know we have a lot of people out there that have a lot of wisdom. A lot of you have wisdom, so we're going to do something called the Advice Hour. What does that mean? I'd like to hear advice from you to our listeners. Advice? Who am I to give advice? Think about this for a second. You're going to have permission to call, and we want you to give advice. Do you think you've been a success at something? Do you have any advice to give about life? If you look back on your life and you think, you know what, I've done all right. with my family. I might have a little bit of advice about raising kids. I might have a little bit of advice about money, business, whatever, wealth. It may be that. It could be something small. You know, I'm a really good cook, and I have a way to make an apple pie that is better than anybody else's apple pie. I want to give a little advice. It could be something like that. Some interest of yours that you're pretty good at. You might have some advice because you've been a failure at something. You went bankrupt. You caught a disease. Something. Do you look back as a cautionary? Do you have any advice for people to prevent them from getting into your situation? There's all kinds of ways to get advice. It's not always, you don't always have to look to the rich and famous for advice on things. You get advice from a lot of different places, a lot of different people. So whatever is coming to your mind that you might want to share, that's what I want you to call about after 8 o'clock. We'll see. We'll see if you are willing to contribute to the content here this morning in that advice hour. So I'm promoting that because it's a new hour, and I just want to see how that works. I'm kind of anxious to hear if we get some good, interesting advice, actually, on anything. I'm leaving it wide open. So that's coming up at Delaware 105.9. Also in the news, fraudulent Delaware doctors. We'll talk about that. Healthcare premiums in the first state going up. Ouch. Donald Trump says a big tax cut. That's on our talk agenda. What does Delaware think of the tax cut idea? We're watching Joaquin, a tropical storm in the Atlantic. It will affect our weather, at least with rain. Also on my agenda, pornography magazines in the woods of Sussex County. That's a real topic. That's also on the we're going to try and get to it all. And 5 things you need to know about the new chip put inside the credit cards. I don't know if you've received the credit card yet with the chip in it embedded. I'm surprised to read this morning that only 54% of Americans with a credit card or a debit card have not yet gotten a card with the chip. I have, and a lot of you have too, but 54% still have not. You're going to get to it. There's been a backlog, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. All these things we hope to get to with you on the telephone. It's 7:38, Dan Gaffney program, every weekday morning, 5:30 a.m. till 10, Delaware 105.9.
Choosing a bank is an important decision and one people don't like to make too often. It involves consideration of convenience, cost, and last but not least, trust. Community Bank Delaware wants to earn your trust. They're locally owned and managed, and all of their policy and banking decisions are made right here in Sussex County. Stop in and see for yourself the difference a community bank can make. Community Bank Delaware in Lewis and Rehoboth. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Extraordinary in every detail. Experience the classic craft difference with a premium entryway that's truly unique and uncompromising in every detail from Therma-Tru doors and Wyoming millwork in Camden and Milton. Discover an inspired blend of precision engineering and architectural character that produce a fiberglass entryway that performs as exceptionally as it looks. It's the choice builders prefer because everything about a Therma-Tru classic craft premium entryway looks, feels, and sounds like an authentic solid wood door. Plus, durable, energy-efficient, low-maintenance features make it a smart long-term investment. Join the millions of satisfied homeowners and building professionals who have already realized the confidence and peace of mind that comes with a Classic Craft Premium Entryway. Classic Craft Premium Entryways from Therma-Tru Doors and Wyoming Millwork. Let them bring your dream entryway to life. Visit Wyoming Millwork at their location in Camden or Milton, or check them out online at wyomingmillwork.com.
That's a sigh of relief because summer is over and fall is here, and I'm back at the Cottage Cafe in Bethany Beach. Join me this Thursday, October 1st, as I broadcast the Susan Monday Show live from the Cottage Cafe. I can't wait. I have been missing all of the great specials at the Cottage Cafe, especially the $5.99 daily bar special, as well as the $5.99 Hoffenburger. So since I haven't seen a lot of you since, last spring, I'm hoping you're going to come out and join me for this live broadcast so that we can get caught up at the Cottage Cafe on Route 1 South in Bethany Beach.
I am often asked what makes Christianity unique from all the other religions of the world. That is a great question. The answer is this. Most religious systems imagine God as a supreme being residing atop a great mountain with many roads, all of which lead to Him, and it is our duty to find and travel our own road in order to reach Him. The Christian faith, however, speaks of a God who, though far above us, comes down to us, a people unable to scale the mountain, and He brings us to Himself. The Bible tells us that in Jesus, God emptied Himself by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men. He humbled Himself by becoming obedient to the point of death on a cross. The good news of the Bible is that God has done for us what we could not do for ourselves. He has come to the foot of the mountain to rescue us. Hi, this is Pastor Dwayne Smith from Sussex County Bible Church in Harbison, and I would like to invite you to join us for our weekly radio broadcast, The Voice of Truth, as we explore this good news every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. right here on Delaware 105.9.
What would an extra $250 a month mean to you? For some, it's a little financial breathing room. For others, it's a car payment, a home repair, or help with college tuition. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and I've got some great news if you're looking to save money on your mortgage. All it takes is a simple phone call to Quicken Loans at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. Folks who refinance with HARP can save an average of $250 a month. That's $3,000 a year. Our home loan experts fully understand the HARP guidelines, and they'll walk you through our streamlined process. And for 5 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And for the second year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. Call 800-QUICKEN or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
Remember Jared Morris today at 3 on Delaware 105.9.
We are live on the radio, Delaware 105.9. We also have an Android app. You can listen to us on your Android with, go to the Google Play Store, look Delaware 105.9. If you have an Apple product, we have an Apple app as well. There's a link to that on our website. If you can't find it in the Apple Store for some reason, you can get a direct link by going to Delaware1059.com. Look at the full page, the full site, and you can find it in there. You know, you got a little jumping around maybe to find that. We're also streaming on YouTube a video of the show, video and audio, at YouTube. Search The Dan Gaffney Show. I'm wearing my wool dress shirt. Remember the wool dress shirt guy? Woolen Prince with the wool dress shirt. I'm wearing it. Kelly, did you notice any odor at all when I was in the studio from this shirt? How does it look, by the way? Does it look
Is
pressed?
that what that smell was this morning?
No, come on, seriously. Does this shirt...
No, I did not notice
Does this shirt
an
look
odor.
pressed and nice?
It looks lovely. It matches your baby blue eyes.
Right, and I haven't ironed this. I haven't washed it. I've done nothing to it.
What? Wait a minute. How many times have you worn it?
I can't even count. Multiple.
And you haven't washed it?
Nope.
You haven't ironed it?
No. That's the whole thing with the wool. You don't have to iron it. You don't have to even wash it. Why? That's gross. Look, if you wear a cotton shirt once, twice maybe, men with a dress shirt, it gets your body smell on it. Wool is a natural fiber that it dissipates. It does not. Body oils, smells, environmental smells do not stick to it. It breathes through it.
Colin Walls is wearing goggles in there. The smell's so bad. No, I'm kidding.
It isn't
I'm
really.
Kidding.
But anyway, I did a whole spiel on the wool shirt. But I just wanted to say that on camera I'm wearing the wool shirt. That's all.
Seriously, how many times have you worn that shirt?
I don't know. 15, 20 times.
Wow.
Never, you can't wash it.
What do you mean you can't wash it?
It's wool, Kelly.
Right.
You have to occasionally, if you must, dry clean.
You throw it. No, you know how I feel about dry cleaning, Danny.
Well, good luck. But don't use a wool washing soap, they said, in the care instructions. That stuff's...
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, you don't want to do that. Anyway, let's go to Jim Weller. I'm sorry I'm off target here. Jim Weller, Weller's Utility Trailers. Hello, Jim.
Good morning, Dan.
I just wanted to see if we could. I was only talking about the shirt. I was only talking about the shirt to see if we get any web hits on the YouTube. So.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying there's no armpit stains or anything with this wool shirt?
I'm holding up my arm now to the camera.
Just as clean as a whistle.
Wow.
Kind of,
I guess
not something you see on video every day, but yeah, clean as a whistle.
Wow. Well, that's really good. That's breaking news. I like that.
Thank you. I know. Breaking news this morning. Let's.
Right. So if you wear wool shirts and as cheap as I could sell you socks, you would not have to do much laundry.
That's right, because you could throw the socks away.
That's right.
How cheap are the socks? How cheap are those socks?
How cheap are the socks? 24 pair for $10. You can't go wrong. You get that, and you get yourself some wool clothing, and you'd have it made. You could just toss your socks right in the trash. But we're expecting some rain, I believe. And I want to just remind people that we sell kayaks. Kayaks are a lot of fun, but, if we get a big storm or something like that, and you want to just, go out if there's some flooding or something, it's always nice to have a kayak around. You could literally just keep it on the roof of your car, the back of your pickup, or something like that. You just never know. So we're just trying to keep everybody prepared. So we have kayaks for only $177, and that includes the paddle. And they're just a nice way to get some exercise or get out and about. But if we were to have a lot of rain or something like that, they just might be a lot of fun. But also, if we get some bad weather and you possibly lose your electric, we also have generators. And we've got them so cheap now that we're really selling generators on a daily basis. And we've got a lot of people buying one, buying two. And generators, the kind of thing that if you want to be real popular amongst your friends and neighbors, be the one that owns the generator. And that way, if somebody needs it, you can be the one that lends it to them. So we have Briggs & Stratton, we have Champion, we have small ones, we have big ones. We have them all out of the box in the showroom, so you could come in and kind of see what you need and so on. Many of them are below what we paid for them, and we just want to liquidate them. So it's a process of trying to turn all those generators into money so I can go do something else with the money. But we have generators, we have socks, we have a little bit of everything. We have people come in and say, my goodness, I had no idea you had this much stuff. That's the same reaction I have whenever I go out in the showroom. I'm like, oh my goodness, I had no idea I had this much stuff. So stop on in. Weller's Utility Trailers, Route 13 in Bridgeville. You'll have a lot of fun. There's a lot to look at. There's no sales tax. We have free parking, and we'll take good care of you. Phone number is 337-8228. On the web, it's Wellers.com. And please like us on Facebook. It is Weller's Utility Trailers there. Other than that, have a good day. Be careful. Be safe. And take good care of that shirt, Dan.
Excellent. Thank you, Jim Weller. I will. And now, Traffic Watch, Robin Bryson.
Dan, traffic still not doing too badly this morning. Getting some busy activity in and out of Georgetown. Along Route 113, around Route 9, and around 404. But no major jams or problems from what we've seen right there. Route 1 along the coast has been in real good shape. Route 16 through Ellendale's been doing all right. If you're traveling in and out of Seaford, a little bit of busy activity around Concord Road, Stein Highway in and out of Seaford, also seeing its usual increase in activity this morning. Kent County, in and out of Dover, you've been running pretty well along 13, both north and southbound. Had an accident in Smyrna along Brentford Road, just west of Ryan Road. You may still find some restrictions and some delays in the area. I'm Robin Bryson with Traffic Watch on Delaware 105.9.
It's like having a CBS News app right there on your dashboard. Check in for a quick update on the hour throughout your busy day. Thanks for making the switch. Delaware 105.9.
All right, let's find out about the coming rains and more rain. Let's get our meteorologist on the air, Steve Williams.
Today, mostly cloudy, humid, occasional rain, and a high 78. Plenty of clouds, a little rain tonight, breezy, low 61. Windy and cooler, rain tomorrow, high 64. And then rain again tomorrow evening. It'll be a windy night. Some of that rain could be heavy at times, low 60. It'll be windy on Friday, periods of rain again, some heavy. Watch out for some flooding. A high on Friday of 63. I'm Steve Williams in the Delaware 105.9 Weather Center.
All right, overcast, some rain in the area, 77. At Delaware 105.9, good morning, 77 in Lewis right now. 75 on the boardwalk in Rehoboth. Let's talk about selling your house. I, over the years, have not recommended a lot of residential real estate agents, but I have been recommending Dustin and Maria Oldfather of the Oldfather Group for sure. The Oldfather Group of Ocean Atlantic Sotheby's International Realty. Just fantastic. They have a very unique, we'll call it a selling position, if you will, a very unique proposition, really. That they will sit down with you, establish a price and a deadline to sell your home. And if that deadline passes and your home is not sold, they'll buy your home. How about that? They also guarantee to spend more money marketing your property than any other agent. This is a group that's selling hundreds of homes a year. The average agent in America, according to the National Association of Realtors, I think selling about 8 homes. 8. They're selling hundreds. Your home could be one of them, and there's no risk. A lot of times you see an agent, if you've had friends who tried to sell their house, they talk a great game to get you signed up, and then it's like they've vanished in the wind. Where are they? Does anybody even know this house is for sale?